So I'm going to clap my hands, and that helps me just synchronize since I've got two cameras going on.
Okay.
And you know what we're looking for, or say whatever you like.
Okay.
So I'm not really going to quiz you. It's just
And yeah, so you won't be on. So I'll be talking to you or the
you
camera.
can talk to either camera or do whatever you please. This is probably a main camera, but you can talk to either one, because then when I put things together, sometimes it's a little
Oh, yeah,
artsy
gotcha.
fartsy.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say, like, if it was like
Yeah.
talking to you or if I was saying something to them, like.
Yeah. I mean, well, if you're saying something to them, look in one or the other camera, and I'll pick that up.
I'm in B2B sales.
Like, hey,
so
schmuck, do it. Push a button.
okay, I'm in B2B sales. So
Okay. All right, so I'm going to clap my hands, and then it's all yours. 3, 2, 1.
Hello there. You gotta give me a prompt. Where do I start?
Whatever you want to say, you're on. You're on.
Hi, my name is Corbin Quick. I am a U.S. Navy veteran of the Naval Nuclear Power Program. I served on the USS Tennessee and a short stint on USS Wyoming, 10 years in the submarine service. And I found that here at Lone Survivor, you know, I remember that I just kind of stumbled across it. I think it was maybe a Facebook ad or something. It was just a real quick, like, oh, that'd be interesting. And I had hesitated to sign up for it before, or things like it, because a lot of times you see things that are like not necessarily, they just say like they're combat veteran, or they're not necessarily like addressing, like it looks like they're not understanding the full situation. And so, but I applied to it, and I was fortunate enough to hear back, and so I was accepted into the program. And so I came here, and I didn't really know what to expect. I just figured it'd be a weekend at least that I got off work, so we'll just see how it works and everything. And I couldn't begin to say like how impressed I've been like with the program and with the experience that I've had. It was, I've been out for about 5 years, and life has been hard. And after a while, you just need to figure out how to like make it not so unnecessarily hard. And so you start working on yourself, and that's what I would say. If anybody was on the fence about it, I would say the fact that you're thinking about it means there's something inside you, that your instinct, that the same instinct that guided you through the service, that's the instinct that's telling you need to check this out. So wherever you think you are on that journey, go check it out, because you either need it, so come on, or you either don't need it, and we need you to come out for the guys that need it. Because I can tell you, as somebody that's had a pretty isolated 5 years since I got out, like searching for a tribe for a while now, and I didn't even have much expectations even for this weekend, but I discovered an entire new world of resources and networks and brothers and sisters and people that understood, and people that were had learned different lessons from their time and from their time out, and good, bad, and and just sometimes just having that camaraderie without judgment, and just having I think what I was also very impressed with was just how well thought out the program was, because it felt like it was very simple, but that's because you could tell like it was designed well, because there was time for people to integrate. They were thoughtful about like people meeting each other, and like it was really impressive, and I think it really made it a great experience. I mean, there's only about 8 or 10 of us here on this trip, and so it was a little bit smaller group, but I get this group chat, we've already all exchanged every kind of number and contact, and we're all got all kinds of plans we're making together. And it's just amazing when you have a good environment and good leadership, and you exercise the lessons that we've learned, the things that we know from our time being trained to operate, and you apply that to things that you have to discuss, you have to get into. The spiritual, the emotional, you can't escape it. You're either going to do it now or you're going to do it later. And I recommend that you do it sooner rather than later, because you're going to miss out on time, or you're going to cause damage that you might not be able to take back. So if you're thinking about it, just get on it. But yeah, I couldn't say enough. Like, it just was a really powerful experience, and there's a number of epiphanies I've had over this weekend that it's going to take a week or two for me to even unpack. But I also learned a lot of skills and techniques this weekend that are going to be able to help me learn those lessons, understand kind of where my brain's at, where my mind's at, where my heart's at, like where I want to be, and also, understanding where I came from and what I'm trying to accomplish. And I feel like I've got the tools that I need to make this, like, not just be like, oh, it was a great weekend, and like, back to the grind. Like, I really feel like there was a lot of very practical advice that I can take forward, and I know I can already see 100 ways it's going to make a huge difference in my life. So I'm really grateful to everyone for contributions and everything.
Are there any of the specific modalities that you really felt were helpful for you?
Specific modalities. So, I've found value in every one of them. I tell you, for me personally, the ART, the art therapy, I'd heard of it, and it sounds so simple. But just by doing the eye motions, I can tell you that, like, we were talking about something, I was anxious, I was hyped up, and we started doing the hand motion, and the way that it activated, the photoreceptors and brain, eyeballs, and all that stuff, the same thing that kept us vigilant, that keep us, like, on it, it activated that, but then it also, like, I was able to calm down because my brain, like, had something to do and fixate on, and in doing so, I had several, like, significant breakthroughs. I know it sounds cheesy, but they were major breakthroughs about significant events in my life that yesterday and today. And I've done a lot of different types of therapy. I've tried a lot of different things. I've gotten a lot of different scans and tests and different modalities in different places. And I was very, very impressed with how accessible that was. If you're worried about having, like, flashbacks, like, the art really allows you to keep it in your head, and without, like, having to, like, get the heart rate, pumping and the adrenaline going. And it's really impressive. And the same techniques that you use to train yourself to be able to shoot so well or respond so well under pressure or the casualty or whatever, that you have those same techniques, but you just gotta learn. You still have the skills. You gotta learn the techniques on how to apply them and train yourself out of that mode, because you're not in that mode anymore. So don't do that to yourself.
To a family or a spouse or significant other that you might come back?
No, I'm divorced.
Okay, well, I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks.
Been there too. Okay. Well, for some folks, go through this and they peel the onion and then they come back. So I want you to
I'd
know
like
that
to
you're
do that.
certainly-
If I end up in a relationship in the future, that I would want to absolutely do this.
Or even individually, as people kind of go on their journey, they progress and it peels down to some things that they hadn't dealt with because they're too busy dealing with this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they come back, even to the individual program. So we've had, it's not a lot of people, but it is certainly an option for you, and it's the kind of thing that, you need some more, need a refresher on the skills.
And that's great, because you can really tell, because they're such practical skills that you can really apply, and they're not sound like all goofy or like anything like crazy. Like, it all makes perfect sense and it all works, and so it really makes a difference. And it's really and they're skills, so you got to practice them, you got to keep with them. Like, they're going to degrade over time, just like your range score or anything, your exam scores, whatever it did. Like, you got to keep up with it. And so your brain is more plastic than the rest of your body when you're trying to lift weights. But the work that you got to do, it hurts sometimes. But you learned how to deal with hurt. Now it's going to hurt a little bit to learn how to not live with it anymore. But you can, and it does get better the more you keep trying. It just takes time. Thanks.
Did you put your submarine?
I hope I said all that right.
I took a class at Norfolk.